All hail Biafra. This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please do subscribe, like, share, and comment.
Or someone that he can reckon with. He believed Dele Momodu was supposed to be that kind of a man. He expressed himself. He spoke the truth of himself. And Dele Momodu had also acknowledged that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a man he respects. And the Igbo people, or the way he described him, have no such personality. No better or stronger personality than Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But what beats my imagination is that today, this same Dele Momodu knows what has happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What is Zoo that is so adored, that is so have acknowledged, have done to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The sufferings and the ordeals of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Dele Momodu, I have not heard him anywhere speak against that evil method of this man he so eulogized. He has not spoken. And if he be a man of integrity, a man of truth, a man of, justice, a man of media, you have the opportunity to be in the media and to have been able to represent. And you keep quiet up till now. He even went ahead, contested in elections in the zoo. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu abandoned in the dungeon, kidnapped by the Zoological Republic. Yet Dele, up to today, has said nothing. Keeps quiet. There are so many factors to the, to the catastrophe going on in the zoo today. So many factors. There are so many individuals that think they are praying. Dele Momodu is supposed to be a Christian. Yes, a devout Christian, as he would call himself. And you see them praying and talking about how God will save Nigeria. And yet, you see injustice, you see evil. You keep quiet and you pretend like it's not happening. Okay, do you think Nigeria will ever be saved and delivered? Despite this evil they have done on some individuals, especially, particularly, a man of passion and truth and justice like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There are so many things that breaks my heart. Honestly, I'm telling you, I was supposed to go to bed already, but I just came across this and I said, let me bring back this interview between Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Dele Momodu. Listen to it and ask yourself, if you know Dele Momodu, tag him to this video and tell him that you, Dele, you are one of the reasons why things are going the way they are with some of the indigenous people that are suffering in the hands of Nigeria, because men like you are there, silent, refusing to speak, why a lot of evil is being perpetuated by your so-called content that you people want to remain one for the reasons that I can't explain. I don't understand why Nigeria should be one when you see that there's no way the factors around can support the oneness of Nigeria. And people like you are encouraging it. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as long as it's not free, let me tell you, none of you will be free. In fact, some of you are going to witness a lot of things that you wouldn't believe. Some of you can't even explain what will befall you because you don't know the kind of prayer Mazi Nnamdi Kanu every night is praying. And it's not going to work in your favor. It will never work good for some of you. I want to rest my case here because I don't want my speech to be too long because this interview is a bit long. So please watch it as much as you can. If possible, watch it to the end because it is a part of it that is called out here. It is not a full interview, so you'll be able to finish it. I am Rafael Chamaka Ajele, aka Pastor Van Van Van, Deputy Minister of Communications, Biafra Republic Government in Exile, under the leadership and Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa.
Wow. Good evening, my brother. Good evening.
Good evening to you. Good evening to you, my dear brother. Should I call you KBSC or Oba or which one are you, or Chief? Which one is your title?
Well, I have many titles. I have an Igbo title. Onuneko, one of Etiti Mboko.
Wow. That's good. So you're a chief in life.
I'm a chief.
Thank you.
But I'm simply Dele tonight because this is a my job, so I'm simply dealing with
You're a
that.
very humble man. You're a very humble man. Thank you very much.
Your title, yes. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, we have our usual protocol here, and the protocol is that we allow you to introduce yourself to our viewers so that there will be no mistake about it. It's coming straight from the horse's mouth. Please feel free. Don't be in a hurry. Take all the time in the world. Instagram is very generous.
That's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so please go ahead. I want you to go.
What's your proceed? Good.
Yes,
Good. My name is Mazen Namdekano. I lead the indigenous people of Biafra, and also I am the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television. And my job and my duty is to serve the people of Biafra up until the restoration of the stolen sovereignty of Biafra land is restored, and also to an extent to also serve Nigerian youths as well. I think since the whole protest started, we have been serving them very diligently every morning and every evening, and it is something that we should be able to continue into the foreseeable future, or until all the demands made by the young people are met by ASROC.
Could you tell us about your background, your parentage, schools attended, and all that, please?
Schools attended, my background is quite simple. My late parents, His Royal Majesty Ezekiel Okano, and my mom as well, Lolo Mbeme, Ugeze, Lolo Mbeme Okano. And I went to Labra Avenue Primary School, which was a model primary school in Umuahia, arguably one of the finest. And then I attended the best secondary school in the world, I believe, Fisher High School, then named Government College Umuahia, the same alma mater as Chinua Achebe, Ken Siro-Wiwa, and Sifrene Quincy, and a whole host of other people who have gone on to at least make an indelible mark in our consciousness, if not in our society. And then from there, I went to University of Nigeria in Nsukka, where I spent about 2 years, and they weren't doing anything that I felt enhanced my ability to understand what I was there for. I had to travel to England, where I studied politics and economics at now London Metropolitan University. I've worked in various capacities. I'm actually the owner of Alpha Phoenix Consulting Limited in the UK, which is a consultancy firm, an economic development consultancy firm. I did actually work with a lot of people like Genesis and all the rest of them, where I held managerial positions until my calling. And that calling is to help restore the kingdom of God on the face of this very earth. And that's what we've been doing for very many years now.
Fantastic. So growing up, who were your heroes, your mentors?
I think my father was number one. Only two people in my life have seriously impressed me. One was my dad, that I was very close to, that I learned a lot of things from. We never actually spoke that very often, but I used to sit around and watch him conduct his counsel, the way he adjudicated in cases and the things that he did, and most of the morals that he left me with. I remember on one occasion, I asked my father, why is it that even after Sunday service, when we get back home, normally if I go to my friend's house and you ask after their father, they'll tell you that their dad is sleeping or doing something of that sort. But in my house, any time there's a knock on the door, my father will encourage us to open the door. And I kept wondering why. And he said, if you have nothing to hide, then you should be able to answer every knock on the door. That is why you need to keep your hands very clean. And throughout my life, apart from the time that these criminals, these savages came to my house, the police had never been to my house or the army with a hostile intent. Operation Python Dance on the 14th of September of 2017 was the very first time in my entire life that the army or the police entered my house with intention either to enforce the law or to kill or to arrest or to pillage or to destroy. The very first time. So my father was number one. The second person is Thomas Sankara. the late Thomas Sankara because of how he managed to turn Burkina Faso around from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, and the miracle he was able to perform. For the very first time in living memory, it was demonstrated that should Black people put their minds to something, they can make something out of nothing. From being a basket case, they became the largest exporter of food across West Africa under the, should I say, the leadership of this brilliant, and very brave young man, Thomas Sankara. So just those two people.
Okay, fantastic. I think before we continue, it would be nice for me to ask if this is the real Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or the cloned one.
I can pull my ear for you. You can see I'm trying to exert as much pressure as I can. The clown in Asorok has 2 ears. I only have one. You can see my glasses. I can take it off. You can see there is no other appendage anywhere behind this one. It's only one. I can pull my nose for you. You know it is me. In fact, I can even bring, if you'll pardon me, I have here with me the mask that everybody has to wear these days. You can see that my ear is not bent, is it? You can see that it's normal, it's not bent. But the clown in Asorok, when he's wearing his own mask, you see that his ear will be bent like that. Mine is not bent. So it is the real me. And of course, I have this mark here and it's unmistakable.
Yes, I just wanted to establish that you are alive because I read somewhere that you were dead. And so I wanted to be sure I'm not making history by talking to a dead man in heaven.
Not at all. I'm here live with you on this program.
Fantastic. So could you tell me some of the books that you read that might have influenced you? I don't want to say radicalized you. I would say influenced you.
Growing up was, as with most of my peers, is Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart. That is number one. Because it's reminded us of who we are, where we are coming from, and where we should be heading to. So that very book was pivotal in shaping my understanding of my people and what needs to be done to rectify the damage that colonialism had done to our people. The second one I would say is Alex Haley's Roots. Again, in that very book, it reminded me or reinforced the need for the Republican zeal that burns in each and every Biafran, that we see ourselves as equal before any other race around the world, and our belief, cardinal belief, that all men are created equal before God. Given the heroic sacrifice those people made at Savannah in Georgia, in America, many centuries back. I also read Leon Uris's Exodus. It is about the Jewish Holocaust and the reestablishment of the State of Israel. Again, a very decent pointer towards where Biafra should be heading to. Those 3 books, Things Fall Apart, Alex Haley's Roots, and Leon Uris's Exodus. They're my 3 favorite books here.
I've read a lot about your religious beliefs, but could you tell us about your faith?
I worship the one true God in heaven that incidentally every religion on this earth believes, or should I say, worship as well. I believe I am a follower of Yeshua, Jesus Christ. I believe I worship where Jesus worshipped,